Phil, welcome to Burn the Ship. It's an entrepreneur podcast where we let our people kind of go through the journey with you of what you did right, what you did wrong, and what you got in the future of your business. So I'm going to let you kind of take the floor and tell us who you are and what your company is.
Yeah, my name's Phil Masiello. My company is CrunchGrowth Revenue Acceleration Agency, and we primarily focus on e-commerce consumer product brands, accelerating them, accelerating their sales and their profits. And we've been doing it for we've been working in the e-com space for over over 20 years. So, uh,
That's awesome. Yeah, tell us. I talked to you on the phone briefly the other day. I wanted you to tell the viewers the story about the Giants pitcher.
well, let me go. Let me go back. So, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 27 years old. Built my first business when I was 27. It was a disaster, terrible, terrible thing. I really thought I was smarter than I was. Sold that business, took the money, moved, went to graduate school, and I invested in another company. And that was better for me because there was much more professional leadership in that company, and we grew that business. Um, we sold it. I founded another a company called Raw Essentials with a woman named Carol Alt, which was a skincare brand, and we were on the shopping channels internationally as well as our own website, and we were one of the first brands on the Amazon marketplace outside of books, CDs, video, all that, and we did quite well. And obviously all the exposure from television helped us scale. After that, I founded a shaving business, and we started that business out, and we had a great product made in the USA. We had a great partner in it. There's only really two major razor companies in the world, and one of them was our partner providing us with a razor. So we had a great product, made in the USA, and we started out, and it was terribly slow, and we were doing all the things you're supposed to do, running ads, we're doing content, we're doing SEO, and it was just nothing was happening. So I'm a baseball fan, and one day I woke up and I was reading the sports on my phone in the morning, and I saw that Brian Wilson, who was a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, had an epic beard. And I saw that he had been traded. He had Tommy John surgery, got traded to the Dodgers, and he was going to pitch for the first time in a year. So it was big news. And I said, let's offer the guy $1 million to shave with the razor. See if he'll shave off that beard with our razor. So we drafted this email and sent it to his people. And all we really wanted back was, yes, we're in discussions. Yes, we'll run it by Brian. We'll see how he feels about it. And that's exactly what we got back. So as soon as we did, we gave it to our PR firm, and we plastered it everywhere, every major publication that our company was in talks to let Brian Wilson shave with their razor for $1 million. And things just went wild because people were so mad at us for offering a guy who makes millions of dollars $1 million. He doesn't need the money. So people were sending us pictures on social media, email, everywhere. I'll shave this for $10,000. I'll shave this for $5,000. I'll shave this.
I will shave all my body for $1 million on camera right now, man. Right now.
Yeah.
I'm not Brian Wilson, and nobody will like that, but I'll do it.
Well, that's what people were doing. And I mean, all kinds of things we were getting. And then we were getting interviews. We were getting every sports channel on TV, on radio, online. Everybody wanted to talk to us about why we would do such a thing. And that really launched us because it created this controversy, and
Sure.
we got press out of it. And that press led to, a significant number of orders. And after about a week, it started to die down. And then TMZ caught Brian Wilson coming out of a gym in Los Angeles. And they asked him, "Are you going to shave your beard for the $1 million?" And he said, "I'm not shaving my beard off for anything." And it just blew up again because then people were outraged that the guy would turn down $1 million. So it lasted about 3 weeks, but it really gave us, a significant number of orders because people thought, hey, who are these nuts that are trying to, but and I think the lesson for me in that was that, when you launch something, you have to do something to stand out, right? We were selling a razor. There's a million razors out there. Yeah, we were less expensive. We had the same quality, made in the USA. We had all the side products. We had men's shave cream, aftershave, high quality stuff, not the normal foamy things. But it wasn't resonating the way that we expected it to until we did something like that. And so, from a marketing perspective, the takeaway that I always tell young entrepreneurs or startups or anybody getting into it, and even our clients, is what are you going to do to stand out? And what are you going to do that's going to make you gain attention? And when you think about it, that was all earned media. We didn't pay for any of that. So we
Hmm.
didn't have to pay the $1 million.
It was just the buzz of the $1 million that well created millions in sales probably for you guys for that. So that's awesome. You had mentioned that in your in one of your first business when you're 27 it went terribly wrong. What do you think some key components of why it went terribly wrong?
Oh God, I was a horrible leader. Horrible leader. I was a terrible manager of process. I thought I knew more than I did. I wasn't. I I spent way too many hours working in the business, not enough time working on the business or marketing the business. We were busy. I hit a need in the market. It was a retail store, but we also did off-premise caterings, weddings, big things, weddings and such. But I wasn't a good leader. I wasn't I didn't plan very well. I didn't have good processes. Every day was another hysterical day. I was working 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. People that worked in the business never knew what was going on because I had it all in my head. So it's like every time something happened, they had to come to me, which is not a way to run a business. And
Yeah.
again, I had no processes. I was shooting from the hip, and I saw it pretty clearly, and I was trying to rectify it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, and I wound up selling it. Probably would have made more money if I worked for McDonald's for 3 years, but I wound up selling the business, and and then I moved on and went to graduate school. Not because I thought graduate school was going to be the answer. I just felt like I was missing something. I needed
Needed
something,
something.
and you know, and it was a good piece because I did learn sort of process and leadership there. But more importantly, the next business that I joined, I took what money I had left and I invested in this other retail chain in Washington D.C. And the management there was far more savvy. They were small, but they came from other industries, so this was more of a startup. And I think there I really learned leadership and process. So.
Sure. What do you so at what is the change cuz you had these were products and companies that you owned and now you help yours is a service for other products. Why the switch from hey I'm starting my own thing to helping other people do what I've already done before?
Yeah. Well, what happened? I really didn't plan on doing that. What happened was we as I said before, our partner in the shaving business was a very large shaving brand, and after we sold that business, they came to me and said, "Hey, we have no direct to consumer anything. Everything we do is we sell to supermarkets, we sell to club stores, Walmart. We do private label for other pieces. We sell to Amazon. We don't sell on Amazon, and we really need to understand the direct to consumer world. And can you help us?" And so, yeah, we started. I started out building some direct to consumer websites, got them on seller side of Amazon, and then started putting product in different places for them, and which was fine. That was sort of a launch pad. Uh, but then, I had all these people that I had employed, and I said, well, we have to grow this business. We need to get more revenue to keep everybody employed that we need. And we started getting other clients. And I think people brands liked us because our approach is a heck of a lot different than what you normally find. Because again, our foundation is being entrepreneurs and brand builders for ourselves. So we always look at things, whereas some agencies will tell you that you have to advertise more and advertise more because they're taking a percentage of your advertising. We don't do that. We charge a flat fee to place advertising, but we're always trying to figure out ways not to spend advertising dollars. We're trying to figure out ways to get brands noticed that are going to get revenue without spending a lot of advertising dollars, because sometimes advertising dollars aren't necessarily the answer. Uh,
Sure.
and we're very careful about what kind of brands we take on, because I can't help you if you're just a Me Too guy. You come to me and you say, "Look, I have a pasta sauce." Well, what's the pasta sauce? Well, it's pizza sauce. Okay, well, what makes it different? I can't help you if you don't have a point of differentiation. You have to come to us and say, "This is what makes us different than the competition." The competition, we can say this about our product and no one else can. Those are the people we can help, because then we have a clear point of difference that we can go after and capitalize on.
That's awesome. So what kind of companies do you work with now specifically in the e-commerce space?
We have, um, again, mostly consumer product, but what we do, we do, we do food brands, some large food brands, international food brands. We have clients in Italy that we do their that sell here. We do their product lines. For some reason, we wound up probably 60% of our clients are food brands or food related brands, olive oil and um, things like that, hot sauces, from companies doing 10 million a year to companies doing half a billion a year. We do. We also have some clients that are in the fashion world, some clients that are in home goods, home textiles, home goods, and then we have a smattering of SaaS clients, and a smattering of industrial clients. So,
What do you think differentiate your company between the competition?
oh, well, first of all, when we say we understand Amazon selling because we've been doing it since
You
2000.
did it, yeah.
Nobody else out there could really say that. They can sit there and say, well, I worked for Amazon for 2 years, and so that makes me a great Amazon expert. Not really. We've been actually selling on Amazon, so we understand the algorithms, we understand how it works. We understand e-commerce because we've been doing it since the early 2000s. So, there aren't a lot of companies out there with this kind of pedigree, and a lot of companies out there where guys have never really built a brand. Everybody that works for us has done something on their own before. Even the folks that just create content for us are people that are, if they're creating content for social media, when you look at their personal social media accounts, they've got hundreds of thousands of followers doing what they're doing. So we understand it. We're just not. We didn't start out as an agency and say we're going to build an agency. So for
Sure.
us, it comes down to our expertise, what we've done, our pedigree, and the longevity at which we've been doing it.
What's your take on using like influencers? Because influencers, obviously, there's people that have 20,000 or a million followers, and there's some people that have 50 million followers. What's your mindset on that?
Well, I think that there's I'm a big fan of influence, right? And I think the story that I told about Brian Wilson is essentially using the press as influence.
That's right.
So I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of influencers, provided that they are the right kind of influencer. I think when you start looking at some of the influencers that are out there that say they have a million followers, and you start really taking a deep dive into their followers, it's like, 50% of them are real, 50% of them are paid. And we don't like to play that game because I'm not going to pay for something. So we do a lot of due diligence when it comes to who we allow to be influencers, but for a lot of our brands. But there are great I do like influencers in certain categories, and you have to find the right ones. And like skincare, for example, we have several clients that have some great influencers doing skincare and and beauty products, and those work really, really well. But you have to know the metric of what you're paying for if you're paying an influencer. If they just come to you and say, I want $1,000 to make a reel, you go, okay, well, what am I going to get for that? Because I'm going to look at your conversions and look at you know, your your detail and see that it's not worth it. So
Sure. How can you tell if how can you tell, like, and I know sometimes it's easy on like Facebook and some, but real and not real of paid subscribers. How can you tell that they're paid or not paid?
oh, that's not difficult in this day and age at all. There's so many tools out there that, like Social Blade or any of these things that can analyze accounts, and you can see if somebody has 1 million followers and they have a 0.5 engagement rate. Well, 90% of the time, if your customers aren't engaged, I mean, we looked at one the other day where this person came to us and told us they have 500,000 followers, and we looked and they have almost zero engagement. And then you can
Sure.
go on and you take a look at who those followers are, and you can see they're all they all have they're all just new accounts that were set up in the last month. You know,
Right. Yeah, I was told that it was probably about 8 years ago. A young guy told me. He said, "So this girl has 200,000 followers, and I've got 5,000 followers." He goes, "But look at my comment. I had 100 comments, and I only have 5,000. She has 500,000 or whatever she had, and she had 6 comments.
yeah,
You know that that's not real because more people would comment." I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense,
yeah, yeah,
right?"
yeah.
It's very like common sense. I should have known that.
But there's so many tools out there today. I'll give you a live example. We're working with a client now who has um, a, a quasi celebrity, a lower level celebrity endorser, and they have 2 million followers, and their associate has another million followers. So they have 3 million followers, and they just endorsed this product. They've done probably 6 or 7 videos, and you would think 3 million followers, we'd expect to get 10,000, 20,000 orders out of that. We haven't gotten any, none. And we look at it, and then we started looking deeper, and you're going, well, they've got a 0.78 engagement rate. So, you would expect uh, anything over a 2% engagement rate is a great engagement rate, right?
Sure.
5% is ideal.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So what's on the horizon? What you got cooking?
We're we've got some great things happening. We've got some new clients that we're working with that are really fun. As far as that, I have a television show called Think Engage Thrive, which is on E360 TV, and where I interview entrepreneurs because I do some mentoring for young entrepreneurs, and which I love to do because I love to give back a little bit of what I've learned. So that's really where my focus has been is building that show and building that audience, and you know getting people to tune in. Although it is a 50-minute show, but it's on E360 every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. And I still continue to learn every day, which I love. That's what I love about the business that I do, because there's something I learn every day. So, uh, you know, I think it's fantastic.
That's refreshing. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you. Websites, emails, phone numbers, whatever you want out there.
Yeah, sure. CrunchGrowth.com is the agency website. PhilMasiello.com is my personal one. You can reach me on either one of them. My email is out there, Phil at CrunchGrowth or Phil at PhilMasiello.com. And yeah, that's the best way to reach me is by email.
Well, thank you for joining Burn the Ship. We really appreciate it. Everybody be nice to or kind to each other out there.